Hey y'all, and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Amber, and I love all things handbag related, with a little bit of emphasis on the brands Vera, Bradley, and Lug. I also occasionally, but rarely, do some content related to concealed carry and how that works with all these beautiful bags that I love. So if any of that sounds good to you, then stick around and let's hang out. So I'm going to try to make this really quick, because I recently showed this little Whimsy Cosmetic that I added the D-rings to make it a little crossbody bag for my daughter. And I put some pictures of that up on the group that I'm a part of. It's called Vera Bradley Friends, and it was started by Liz, who's fantastic. She also has a YouTube channel, so I'll link her YouTube channel down below. And if you're interested in joining that group, and if you're not already a part of it, which I think quite a few of you are, check that out. It's called Vera Bradley Friends. So I put a picture of this up on there, and I had quite a few people say, how did you do that? Was it very difficult to do? What was the process? And I've already done this one, and I'm not going to take it back apart to show that. So what I'm going to try to do really quickly is just show you the process of how I do this on any given piece. So this is the little set that I ordered off of Amazon. So let me open it and I'll show you what's in it. So it comes with, I'm going to try not to dump this out everywhere, but it comes with all of these different colors, or different finishes, like the brass, the gold, the gunmetal, and the silver in the little D-rings here. So they're just different colors. And what it is on this side, it's a little screw hole. So you get that, you get the D-ring, and then you get the little teeny tiny screw that goes with it. And the other thing they send you with this set is a hole punch. So you get this little metal bit, and it has a cutout on it on that side right there. And what you're supposed to do is set whatever item it is that you're wanting to do this with down on a hard surface, and then you're supposed to mark your hole, put this on it, and take like a hammer and go bam, and then punch the little hole out. I don't do that. I did that the first couple of times, and I don't do that now. And then you also get this little teeny tiny baby screwdriver with it to screw everything in. So what I'm going to do is show you how I actually do it now. And I grabbed this one. This is one of the pouches from, oh my gosh, you guys, I don't even remember the name of this. It was the Reactive Sling pouch duo crossbody. I don't know what it was called, but it was the two-piece set, and they're made like a belt bag. So they have this little hole on the back side that you slide the belt piece through. I will never, ever, ever wear it like that. I purchased these to use solely as pouches. But in demonstration form, I figured this would be a good piece that I could show y'all how I do this with. So as opposed to using that little hole punch, what I do is I get a big old needle. So this is just like a big needle. And this one is angled. You can see on the end there, it's angled just a little tiny bit, maybe, if I can hold it the right way to show you that. And it doesn't have to be angled, that's just the one that I have. And typically, I'll take like a Sharpie, and I will mark where I want the D-rings to go, so I try to get it fairly even. I'm not going to do that on this one because it really doesn't matter, because I'm never going to use this as a crossbody anyway. So I'm just going to kind of eyeball it on each side, and I'll show you what I do. So for this one, I'm just going to go down this side panel right here, and I'm going to go just a little bit below the zipper right in the middle, somewhere like right here-ish. And all I do is I take this needle and I shove it through. I make the hole, and then I just kind of wiggle it around a little bit to make the hole big enough to put the screw through. So let me do that. Let me get the hole in there. So you can see I've literally just shoved the needle in the fabric. That is it. It comes out on the inside and you have your hole. Now this is a bigger needle, but I will just kind of wiggle it around, move it a little bit until I get that hole big enough to put the screw through. And you don't need the hole as big as the screw. You just need to shove the screw through the hole. So I try to keep the hole fairly small. So if you can see that little teeny tiny hole right there, let's see if that's big enough. I don't think it is. So let me do a little bit more wiggling here. And try not to stab myself in the process. Like I just did. I didn't stab myself, I almost stabbed myself. But I'll just wiggle it around a little bit more. So these screws are teeny tiny, which is why I said you don't need a very big hole. And your screw will go on the inside of your hole. So I don't know if I got this one big enough yet or not, but let's check. I think I did. So this reactive fabric is a little bit different than like the polyurethane that the Whimsy Cosmetic is made out of. So I'm going to make that hole just a little bit bigger. And holding on to the screw, I find, is sometimes the hardest part of this. So there's what the hole looks like on the inside. You can see it's just a tiny little hole. And I just try to line the screw up with it the best that I can. Sometimes it helps to go back the opposite way. Like I already made the hole toward the inside. So now I'm going to go back from the inside and push it out. So I'm just doing the same thing from the opposite direction. And again, I'll just kind of wiggle that needle around. I'll pull that needle back out. So sometimes if I have a little bit of trouble getting the initial screw through it, I'll take the little screwdriver that came with the set because it's fairly wide, and I'll just wiggle it around till I get it through whatever fabric I'm working on, because it'll make a little bit bigger hole than your needle. So I'll push that through. Where this reactive fabric is a bit looser, sometimes it's more difficult to work with because you got to wiggle it around till the screw finds the hole. Alright, so once you have your screw shoved through the little hole, that's what it looks like. It just sticks out the little hole. There's what it looks like on the inside. It is literally just a little tiny screw. And then right here, typically I'll take Gorilla Glue or just like crazy glue or something, and I'll put just a little drop right on the end of that screw. And then you take your little D-ring piece and you start threading it on. Now the part about this one is that the D-ring can be difficult to screw on because your screw can start turning from the inside. So I can get it threaded on, but typically, yeah, right here the screw's starting to turn on the inside. So that's where I take the little baby screwdriver and I hold the D-ring on the outside. I just leave it the way that it's supposed to go, just up and down. And then I will tighten the screw on the inside to the D-ring. So I didn't put the glue on this one because, you know, just for time's sake. But that's it. Now the D-ring is on there. And you are good to go. I'll go ahead and do the other side too, just to show you. And again, I am just gonna eyeball this because who's got time to measure, right? So it's gonna be crooked. Just remember that. It's gonna be crooked. Don't judge me because I didn't measure. Alright, so I went somewhere in this vicinity, I think. Looks about right. So let's make our first hole. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Then I'm going to go back in from the inside out. And do that again. And push the fabric back out the other way because our screw goes on the inside, and that's the first piece we have to do. So I'm going to wiggle, wiggle, wiggle that a little bit. No big old deal. And then I'm going to take my little screwdriver. I'm going to go through that hole again, just to, you know, again, just to widen it out a little bit, just make the hole a bit more defined. And now sometimes you will get little fabric pieces that can come out. I just trim those because, I mean, essentially you are kind of ripping fabric. So let me grab some scissors. So I just got a pair of scissors, and I'm just gonna trim that extra fabric or that little thread off of there. I still have my screwdriver shoved in that hole because I'm still gonna make it a little bit bigger. That's probably pretty good. So let me grab the screw, see if I can get it to shove through there pretty easily. Whoops, it helps if you hit the hole, doesn't it? And then again, you just kind of wiggle, wiggle, wiggle till your screw comes through. And you can see it starting to push through right there. So I just push the fabric on down around it till we have it all the way pushed out of there. And this is a whole lot easier on like the Whimsy Cosmetic, where it's that kind of plasticky poly material, because where this is a loose material, it wants to kind of pull and move and bend with you, whereas that plasticky material, it doesn't move. That one literally took me all of about 2 minutes, no joke. So I'm going to trim that little thread off again, just so it's not in my way. Maybe. There we go. Excuse me. So you can see the screw is through there again. Take the little D-ring. I'm going to screw it on. Or start screwing it on, I should say. And then when the screw on the inside starts turning with it, I'm going to stop. Get my little screwdriver, and I'm going to hold the piece on the outside again. And remember, if I was doing this for real, because I wanted it on something, I would have put that little drop of glue on there. But since I'm just doing this to show y'all how I do it, I'm not going to bother with the glue. So then I'm going to tighten my screw on the inside. And that's it. It's done. I have a D-ring on both sides now. So let me grab a strap and I'll show you what it looks like. So I put the gold hardware on this one, And this strap doesn't exactly match, but it has gold hardware, so I'll just use it and show y'all how it turned out. So we have our D-rings on there. They're nice and secure. We just clip our strap on now. And I'm going to close this up and stick it inside the pouch to give it a little bit of weight so it'll actually maybe hang down a little bit. Strap's all twisted. Alright, there we go. And now we have a little mini baby crossbody bag. And that's it. That is literally all I do. It takes no time. And once, you know, obviously the first time or two that you do it, it's going to take you a little bit longer just because you want to take your time and, you know, try to make sure you're not going to mess it up or what have you. But literally, this is kind of dummy proof. You can't mess it up. You just mark where you want your little D-rings to go. You just make that hole, shove the screw through, and then I do add the glue, like I said. And then you just screw the two pieces together and you're done. You have your D-rings, and anything that you want can now be a bag. So I hope that was helpful for y'all that were wanting to know how I did that, or if it was very difficult or anything. I don't know how long this video is now, but it doesn't take that long. It took me much longer to try to explain a little bit step by step, but I hope that was helpful. So if y'all have any further questions, or if you have any comments, or you just want to say hello, then as always, leave me a message down below because I love to chat with y'all. And I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.